Almost everything we touch on a daily basis contains plastics, and our lives are enriched because of their unique flexibility. For that reason, the global annual production of plastics is expected to rise to 600 million tons by 2050. But what happens to these plastics when we're done with them? It's estimated that as much as 40% is landfilled, 25% is burned for energy, which produces harmful greenhouse gases, and almost 20% litters our landscape, rivers, and oceans.
The circular economy means that we take a portion of the plastics that would go into landfill and into incineration, and we recycle them back into production of fresh plastics. By doing that, we lower the amount of pollution that's generated by burning them, and we lower the amount of fossil fuels that are used to make them initially.
Today, only about 9% of plastic is recycled. But that is changing, and there is a renewed emphasis on reusing these materials. Mechanical recycling takes bulky, easily recovered materials like milk cartons and water bottles and remelts them to form new products. Advanced or chemical recycling using a process known as pyrolysis takes those materials like films and fibers that can't easily be separated and converts them back into their original molecules, which can be reformed into new plastics that look identical to the original materials.
Most people have a recycle bin. They put plastic into the recycle bin, but they also put paper, metal, glass, and everything goes to a recycle center. And the recycle center has to separate it into its components. And the plastic that comes out of that recycle center is a mixture of plastics that contains polyethylene, polypropylene, and a bunch of different plastics. Those can be recycled, but they're not as easily recycled as the plastics that we're working with, which are agricultural plastics, which tend to be one kind of polymer. Because it's one kind of polymer, it produces a higher quality product oil. And that's advantageous to the companies that we're selling to.
Most major chemical companies have pledged to incorporate significant amounts of recycled materials into their products by 2030. And to do this, many are building or planning to build dedicated pyrolysis units. Circular Polymer Resources provides quality plastic waste feed to these companies, thereby playing an integral role in accelerating the circular economy.
Our customers take the plastic that we sell them and convert it to pyrolysis oil and gas, which is then converted to ethylene and propylene, which are the building blocks of the oil industry and the chemical industry. And this is converted back to polyethylene and polypropylene, which we can then go back into toys, kitchenware, clothing, parts of your automobile, anything that's made of plastic, and that completes the circular economy.
Join us on this journey to make the world a better place.